don't be shameless. Oh, that's a huge thing I want to touch on quick before we wrap up. This will be my last sermon, but that's essentially what it is. These parents, they're acting from a place where they um act shameless. They act like they could never make a mistake, the parent. I cannot tell you, how many times I tried to get my mom to own up to something or apologize for something, and she just could not do it. There's no way my mom would ever admit that she made a mistake. So this is also child abuse, because when a parent acts shameless, like they could never make a mistake, they are spiritually abusing the child, because they are essentially playing God. So when you have a parent who acts shameless, you have a child that is essentially going to either A, go down the path of narcissism themselves and also start to act shameless and play God and manipulate people and walk all over people because that was what their parent modeled for them. Or they'll take the more victimy route, the codependent route, and they'll just become a people pleaser who walks on eggshells, who doesn't really speak their truth because they're so scared, because that parent programmed them that, hey, it's bad if you ever make a mistake. Mistakes are bad. Mistakes are not bad. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn. And that's what you need to teach your children. If your child makes a mistake, educate them. Just say, hey, this is an opportunity for you to learn. It's okay. Don't shame them, because that shame um, in the child, when the child is shamed so much, that's actually what causes them to grow up and become a narcissistic parent themselves. So when you see people that act shameless, people that act like they can never make a mistake, people with really big egos, they're actually drowning in toxic shame. Deep, deep, deep at the core of everything, even though they act shameless, they have so much shame. And that's why they can't admit that they made a mistake, because they already are drowning in shame. So when someone confronts them, like, hey, mom, this really hurt my feelings when you did this. Like, can we talk about this? No, you're misunderstanding me. I can't talk to you about this. No, no, no. It's like, well, why do they get so defensive? Why do they react like that? Because deep down, they already feel so much shame for who they are. They feel so badly about themselves that any little healthy shame that comes into the picture to try to bring awareness to them is just going to put them over the edge, and they're going to get defensive. And that's why parents act shameless. So yeah, definitely, be mindful of your own insecurities, work on yourself. Don't put your kids in a position where they have to deal with your emotional problems either. That's a big one. Emotional incest, parents basically just saying things to their children that are in a things to their children that are like inappropriate, talking about like, oh, your father, he just always does this, and it's like, that's your relationship, that's your business. You can't put it on your kid. That's also abuse, and it's also forcing the child to grow up too quickly and not allowing them to have a childhood.
I
So
think I'm getting a lot of nuggets of wisdom from what you all said, but I think the core of that is we parents become a mirror to our children. So everything that we do and say, especially also the relationship, as you said, with the husband, is very important. And I think you're very correct. As we become parents, we also heal our inner child and we tend to reflect it to our children. So being aware of our own pains and healing it by ourselves can help us, raise better children.